difference do gun laws make in protecting the public and police officers? I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Local Edition. With me this hour, State Representative Babette Josephs. Thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
This is an important issue for your district. There was a recent homicide.
For the whole city, for the state, for everyone, I think.
But talking about the recent homicide, specifically in your district, this has really led to an outcry by a lot of your constituents, your friends and neighbors. Tell us a little bit about the incident and how it really acts as an indicator for your area.
Well, two young boys who never got in any trouble. Indeed, they were working with the police, trying to get out of their violence-prone neighborhoods, just walking down the street in the evening. Apparently, two other boys ran up in back of them and just shot them in the back of the head. Too many guns. Too many guns on the streets. This could happen to any of us. It could happen to any of our children. And it's not confined to Philadelphia. It's not confined to the cities. It's now everywhere. It's everywhere in Pennsylvania. In Pittsburgh, 3 police officers were recently murdered. One of them would still be alive if it weren't for the ban on assault weapons was rescinded by the last administration.
We're talking about horrific crimes, the loss of life, of innocent life in the instances that you mentioned, but we're talking about weapons in the hands of the wrong people. But in the right hands, many people would argue this is my Second Amendment right to own a gun, whether it be a handgun or a hunting rifle or even an assault rifle. It's my right to own the gun.
The Supreme Court recently said that's correct. It is your right to own the gun. But the same Supreme Court said it's not your right to do anything you want with it. And I think it's time for Pennsylvania legislators to step up to the bat and make sure that people don't do anything they want with their guns.
The federal assault weapon ban is not in place, but there has been talk in Pennsylvania. The governor has put forward the proposal to have it here in the state of Pennsylvania. What is being done in Harrisburg to move the governor's agenda forward?
Well, I think it's more education than anything else. We still have in Harrisburg numbers of state legislators, senators, and representatives who seem to believe that their people do not want reasonable gun control. And I think that's a misreading of the public. Gun owners, members of the National Rifle Association, and when you poll them, they are not opposed to reasonable gun control, and it's time we did it here.
And yet we've seen many people protesting in Harrisburg the governor's idea for the 1 gun limit per month for purchase, and the idea of having to report your gun if it's stolen. People have been protesting these pieces of legislation.
I believe there is a small group of people. In Harrisburg, the Rotunda had about 400 or 500 people in it not very long ago. I really believe they're almost the only people in the entire state who believe that we shouldn't have gun control laws.
We just have a short time left, but I want to ask about your piece of legislation. It relates to handgun permits. Explain to us how it would alter the permitting process.
Well, right now, you need to get a permit if you're going to carry a handgun. You don't have to renew that for 5 years. I want to shorten that period to 2 years. We need to be safe from these kinds of guns. We need to make sure the people who can carry them, if they're saying good, responsible citizens, are still saying good, responsible citizens at a 2-year interval, not a 5.
Where does this legislation stand at this point?
I will move it along. It will be in the Judiciary Committee, and I will work as hard as I can to get it out on the floor.
All right, come back and give us an update.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will do that.
We've been talking with State Representative Babette Josephs. I'm Jill Horner for Comcast Local Edition. For more information, you can go to Comcast On Demand and click on Get Local.